Hello, this is Liberty Mark 222. I wanted to talk a little bit about right now about what motivates me to make these videos, and part of it is selfish, because my desire, a lot of my desire in life is to find out why things are, and to find out the truth behind things. Now, I guess that is that selfish, and each of these videos is kind of my search for truth. And for instance, I've had problems with my digestive system. Like, I lived overseas for about 6.5 years, and when I came back, I gained like 20 pounds, and I was like, what's going on? And one thing I noticed was, like, food is different in the United States here. It's like a loaf of bread overseas. I was living in Turkey, right? You get a loaf of bread, and it lasts for maybe 2 or 3 days, right? And then it gets moldy. But here in the United States, you put a loaf of bread in the refrigerator and it lasts forever. And like, fruits and vegetables taste way different. The fruits in the United States just taste blah, especially vegetables. Tomatoes, I can't stand tomatoes in the United States here. They just taste so like plastic, you know. And so I started, my mom, she's got problems with her digestive system, and she's like gluten intolerant. And so I kind of went on this diet, gluten intolerant, for a while. And I mean, everything you eat practically is, you got either some kind of bread or pasta. It's in everything. So to try and live that way is really hard. Anyway, I started doing some research, and like Alex Jones, he's been talking about all the things that they've been doing to our water and air and food and stuff. And I was kind of like, oh yeah, right, you know. You hear about chemtrails, and I'm like going, I don't really believe that, you know. Well, I started investigating it. It's like, oh my gosh, it's true. They're spraying aerosols with aluminum oxide and barium and all this strontium. Then he's talking about how they're poisoning our water, and they're putting fluoride in it. I was like, oh my God. I'm finding out that's true. And all these things that you think are crazy, you know, like these GMO foods. I started researching that, and I was like, oh, well, no wonder we're having problems digesting. We got corn that's got Roundup spliced into its genes, and it's designed to destroy the bugs' stomachs, and so no wonder it's messing up our stomachs. Looking at, you know, and it's not, and then we don't even know about it. They didn't even tell us that all of our corn and soy it's GMO, and the wheat's been modified majorly. This dwarf, what do you call it, dwarf wheat, pretty much since the 70s, and now about 100% of our wheat is dwarf wheat, which was modified. This scientist, he was breeding it down in Mexico, so it's got like 10 times the yield, but the gluten in it and then the wheat germ in it it's messing up people's digestive system. And I think they said like 70%, 60 or 70% of people have these gluten allergies. And this is not the same wheat. I was watching this thing called, this guy wrote this book called Wheat Belly, and he's saying the wheat that we are eating now is not the same wheat that we were eating, that our grandparents were eating. So I look at pictures of my grandpa. I mean, he was skinny as anything, and I look at myself, and I'm fat. All my classmates are fat. Everybody's. I was even looking at. I remember Mexicans. They come up to America. I mean, it was okay. 20, 30 years ago, a Mexican come up to the United States. There's a lot fewer Mexicans, but they were always very small and extremely skinny, right? You look at a lot of Mexicans now, and they're just as fat as Americans, right? You look at a lot of black people, and they're very overweight. I shouldn't say all of them. Actually, it seems like a lot of black people are not so fat anymore. But for a while there, you see some black women are just so fat. And a lot of the kids are all fat. And it's all because, they're trying to say, oh, you got to eat your veggies, you got to exercise more, you're watching TV too much and on the internet too much. Well, maybe the reason that people they don't feel very good, because they're eating this food that's poison in them. We got water that's being poisoned with this fluoride stuff, so anyway, my point is, my quest is in a lot of ways to know the truth. And if we want to know the truth, and we're willing to really look into things, and to weigh these things out, a lot of times it's hard to find the truth. But the way the internet's set up, especially YouTube, you can find out so much information. And I know there's a lot of lies, a lot of garbage out there. But at least once you find out people that are pretty credible, you can find out so much good information. It's just unbelievable. And in such a, I was listening to, Peter Schiff, and he has a streaming news thing. And man, I love listening to Peter Schiff. The guy is brilliant. Just an awesome financial guy. I love his Austrian economics, and he was commenting on the debate with Romney and Obama, and Romney made a comment about how he would regulate the banks. He says, if they were operating out of a garage, that you wouldn't know what kind of bank you'd have. And Peter Schiff was saying, well, what's wrong with having a bank out of your garage? There were some really big businesses that started out of the garage, like Apple Computer. He was talking about Harley Davidson and, Microsoft. There's a whole bunch of them. I think the Wright brothers, they were just, you look at practically all of them. The guys that helped develop missiles in the United States, it's all stuff out of the garage, so I thought that was a brilliant point. He's like, why are we over-regulating, he was saying banks, why are we making such a monopoly? Why is the government picking and choosing its winners, making it so hard for people to get into the market, and we got these huge monopolies? I thought that was brilliant. I was like, wow, this guy's awesome. But anyway, in the show, it's a streaming live thing. He's got SRN News, which I can't stand SRN News. They're just a bunch of, it's what, double speak. It's Big Brother kind of stuff. But I was like, wow, I haven't listened to the radio news in a long time like that. And because I can't stand listening to it. I can't stand listening to their lies and all. I mean, just like the jobs report that came out, I was like, you know, why do these news organizations even repeat these just totally phony statistics? Why? I don't need to listen to the government tell me that it's 7.8% unemployment when it's just totally phony. We got the unemployment or the employment rate for men it's the same level as it was like in 1948, but we got this like double the population since then. So I don't see it. I don't want to hear those kind of lies. I don't want to hear a bunch of deception. I want to hear the truth. And I think you do too. I think anybody, it's kind of like, let's say you had cancer, or let's say you had a problem. Wouldn't you want to know about it early enough that you could do something about it? I mean, let's say you just wanted to stick your head in the sand until it was too late. I think you'd rather, if you could do something about it early, that's much better than just ignoring the problem. If you ignore the problem, you're going to die, right? But if you, you don't have to, I'm into nutrition stuff. I think, like Alex Jones, here I'm quoting Alex Jones again, he has this Peter Wallach, or Dr. Wallach on there, and he's saying how all diseases are come from lack of nutrition, some type of nutritional deficiency. And I was like, wow, that is amazing. And I believe him. I think he's right that we're not getting the right kind of nutrition. We're getting bombarded with all this pollution from our environment. We're getting poisoned on purpose, and then all these GMO foods and so anyway, when my point is that you seeking the truth is my motivation, I guess. I think that's really important. So if I'm selfish this way, I wish that everybody was selfish that way. I wish that people would be willing to look at the truth and adjust their life, or the greatest truth in life is the ultimate ones. Where are we gonna spend eternity? Are we gonna go to heaven? Are we gonna go to hell? Is there heaven? Is there hell? Who's God? What is God? I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe that He saved me from my sins. So, Paul, he said to work out our salvation with fear and trembling. So, this is the most important thing. And I pray each one of you feels the same way. That you are willing to seek out the truth of God and seek out His creation. And there's Kitty Meow. Hey, Kitty Meow. Hi. Aw, he's such a cutie. Aw, look at him. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Liberty Mark 222.